Eric Greitens, governor, getting emotional yesterday in his resignation speech. Jack Suntrip been helping us out the last couple of days here, reporter for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Good morning, Jack Suntrip.
Good morning. Thanks.
What did you find most interesting yesterday as you watched what happened?
Well, the whole thing was a surprise. We had no indication up until about 3 o'clock that this was going to happen. You got to remember, over the last 5 months, Greitens has been facing calls from Republicans and Democrats to resign, and he's rebuffed them all along the way, no matter which revelations have come out. And all of a sudden, on Tuesday, after a court ruling, hours after a court ruling that forces his dark money group to turn over documents to a House committee, he announces his resignation. So that's what surprised me.
Everybody wants to know if these investigations are going to continue. What do we know at 8 o'clock this morning?
That's what we're going to have to find out today. I can tell you, as far as the House committee goes, my understanding, based off conversations with smart people involved in the process, they don't have jurisdiction after the governor resigns at 5 p.m. Friday. So the House won't be able to probe private citizen Eric Greitens, just like they're not able to investigate Jack Suntrip, private citizen. Mm-hmm. So that investigation will likely end. I'm curious to find out what happens to all these documents that they've obtained over the last several months. The Attorney General's investigation, I assume, will go on. They have jurisdiction over charitable matters. They're investigating his ties to the Mission Continues. Also, we have to watch to see what the circuit attorney says today in St. Louis. Kim Gardner said yesterday that they had reached a resolution over a data tampering case. And then in Kansas City, you have to watch what the special prosecutor does there with the felony invasion of privacy. She said yesterday that her investigation continues.
Point of question here, because we had Josh Hawley on yesterday, and he said that he would continue investigating where appropriate, and he would hand off jurisdiction when it's appropriate. And so the Attorney General's office is investigating the Mission Continues because it's a charity, and that's under his umbrella, if you will.
Yeah. So the Attorney General's office enforces charitable giving laws. So they're really focused on the Mission Continues, and really not so much on Greitens specifically, but Greitens is tied up in this whole Mission Continues saga. He's accused of using a donor list from the Mission Continues to raise at least $2 million in campaign cash. And the problem with that is that charities have a nonprofit status, and because of their nonprofit status, they're exempt from taxes. So private insiders aren't allowed to benefit from the assets of charities. So that's that's basically the laws that the Attorney General's office is tasked with enforcing, and that's what he's really focused on these last several months.
Now that he becomes private citizen Eric Greitens and these investigations continue, is he in a better position to pay his legal fees or a worse position?
I don't know.
Because, he has all these, you can raise money, but you have to disclose it and so on. He loses, though, a lot of his government lawyers. So it's a legitimate question, I think.
Yeah. Well, the House investigation will likely go away, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. He has about $2.5 million sitting in his campaign account right now. So, you got to think that will go pretty far. and we don't really know how much. Well, we don't know at all how much money A New Missouri has, or he has another legal defense fund that hasn't revealed any of his donors. But mounting legal bills, that was one of the reasons he cited yesterday in his resignation speech as a reason he was resigning. So you got to think that those will be eased in some way with his resignation.
Jack, I'm short on time, but do we have any idea if the FBI is investigating anything?
We've had indications and whispers over the last several months. The FBI has never confirmed or denied that they're looking into anything. But what you do have is lawmakers and others over the last several months saying that they've been in contact with the FBI. Last week, most notably, Jay Barnes, the chairman of the Special Investigative House Committee, said he spoke to the FBI. He reached out to them himself after Michael Hafner, one of Greitens' early campaign staffers, testified that Greitens may have solicited campaign donations from foreign nationals, which is a violation of federal law. So that was the latest indication that the FBI is looking into this. To what extent and what exactly they're looking into, we still don't know, and likely won't until they.
Jack Suntrip, reporter for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Great job. Thanks for checking in. Have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.